the first time I saw my daddy cry, I was like, ooh, that's interesting. Actually, it looked cute. I was like, ooh, like daddy is crying? Wow. Because, for many of us, daddies are those superhero champion figures, who have all the money in the world until you grow up and you give them your school fee schedules and they start telling you so many stories. Then you know that all that looks manly doesn't necessarily have all the money. But yeah, when I got to know why he was crying, I was touched. I mean, he had lost his big brother and my uncle. That was pretty sad and all because he was a nice and kind man. Now, the second time I saw my father cry, I said, you see, when you were beating us, no, you think it is nice? Hey, or someone can beat human beings for Africa. What? Anyway, this time, he had lost his brother-in-law, his only surviving sister's husband, whom he took as his big brother. It feels a bit weird. I mean, these were adults, for Christ's sake. But yeah, that was it. Now, the third time, I saw him cry, I was like, wow, now, geez, this looks like some Bagri dam has been spilled or something. But actually, it was a difficult moment. He lost his wife at the time. Yeah, our mother. Me, my problem was, it was a few days to my matriculation. And so, if she had waited small and handed me over properly to the Legon girls, I can make a problem. Also, of all days, she died on my sister's birthday. So I was like, why did you have to do that? That was a problem. Don't get it twisted. I loved her. But she was a hard girl and she thought us to be tough. So I felt like actually crying and all that would even betray her or something. But every now and then, when the crying at home went down, you will hear tears. You will hear the tears from 3 junctions away. Her friend B, who just heard the news, is coming to, and by so doing, Charlie, open gates for the flow of tears, like Bagri Dam, Weja Dam, Akosombo Dam, all put together, flooding of tears, Charlie. And the funny thing is, when I actually filed past her, I was like, hey, you guys have still, you're beautiful. So you take all this beautiful, go to the grave and pala. But who did your makeup for you? Don't they know that you don't like these things? Yeah, these are the things that were going through my mind. Then, after we filed past, I saw some people crying so hard, like they want to throw themselves on the ground. And they want to throw themselves to the ground. I'm like, yo, what I just say? Of course, all these were going on in my head only. And when I saw people who couldn't understand her or who didn't like her while she was here trying to cry more than everyone else, I was like, what is that? Why am I telling you all these foolish thoughts that I was thinking when my mom passed on years ago? Well, I want you to know that it's okay to cry. Absolutely okay. Also, if you don't cry but express grief differently in a manner that won't hurt you or anyone, that's also fine. In fact, if you've lost your last 20 Ghana cedis for the month and it pains you more than your last breakup, please cry. And allow people who think, you didn't vibe well with their beloved or your beloved when they were around, and so they are mourning with you and all of that. You think that they're being hypocrites. Allow people to vibe because, allow them to mourn because, the fact that they couldn't vibe so well doesn't mean that they wish them dead. And you never know. Chances are they probably wanted to. Chances are your loved one actually owed them and wanted to take the money, and unfortunately your loved one passed. So you need to allow people to mourn. But finally, I told the story, shared this with you, so that those of you who go like, Rawlings has died and we are mourning and Citi TV, why have you gone to bring this joke to come and be making light of our pain? I want you to know that I touch nobody now. So those of you who think you are more bereaved than the bereaved, no, chill. This one is back page. That's how we call it. I am Caleb Kudah. You understand? Cool. welcome to the show. Now, if you still can't believe that Papa J.J Rawlings has gone the way of all flesh, you're not alone. But believe it or not, the man who was larger than life, more colorful than the rainbow, loved like a beautiful butterfly by some, and hated like an unwanted, unplanned flatulence, discharged at the knocking of a bride, has returned to the one who rented him a tent to sojourn here but for a moment. Reminding us all that regardless of our name and fame, our riches, our connections, our powers and our glories, we are only but flesh and blood. All we have of him now are memories. Among them, right, among all the memories that we have, this particular one struck me differently.
It was no secret that the relation that existed between the two of us, right from the heady days of 1979 through to my brief period in exile, to be my elected the 2008 NPP presidential candidate, was one of open animosity. We did not see eye to eye. However, with time, things changed. We came to see value in each other and understood to a very large degree our respective perspectives.
Wow. I really loved the sincerity of fellow Ghanaians here. I mean, we all have some people in our lives we struggle to vibe with because of the sound of their laughter. You know, it can be annoying like that. Or we don't like their guts, you hate their guts, or we simply don't like how they say their name. Your name is Caleb, what's it, Caleb? Rubbish, that alone can upset people. But hopefully, all those who don't like us and those we don't like to, people we don't see eye to eye with, no, hopefully we will learn to tolerate, if not love them, before we die. One day. Now, this part of the whole memory of the man and what is happening after us is something that got me thinking.
2 days after his passing, at the 21st congregation of UDS, I expressed my strongest convictions, in spite of his reservations, that such an honor should be accorded him. I am glad that this has found favor with his family, and the necessary formalities will be carried out to achieve this. That is, the J.J Rawlings University of Development Studies, Tamale.
Jenny John, reservations, conventions, okay. The man says the school, no, it is his brainchild. Me nah do the outdooring. Me nah, and I said that, oh, I don't like to name the thing after me. You wanted to rename it after me. I said, Bede, you have named the school after two of your people, CK Ted and SD Dombo. I have not complained. Now I have gone to sleep, so I can't talk. You have gone behind me to talk to my family, and you say that my family say they like it. So you are renaming it after me. The renaming is it by force? Or you say the dead can have their say, but the living will have their way. Hello, Mr. Consensus, no, adosium. Well, if we want to name something after the man at all costs, I think I have an idea. On his 70th birthday, the man's daughter gave clues that should give us plenitude of ideas.
We need to be prepared to explain to younger generations why we thought we have the right, or had the right, to leave their planet in a worse state than we found it. We need to be prepared to explain to our children how we have the effrontery to include green in our national flag when we have no more forests to justify it. We have to be prepared to explain to younger generations why the rivers and streams that crisscross our motherland, that only a few years ago served as clean water bodies to communities, have either dried up or have turned so putrid that they may have to be marked, danger, keep off, keep away. Are you prepared to offer these explanations? I know I'm not. And I think I can say I speak for my father when I say I doubt if he is either.
Exactly. I really don't know how we are going to explain to our children how we have green in our flags. And our water bodies look so putrid. By the way, did you see Patty in Jessica though? He was there some. I'm sure he was like, oh, Kolana, oh dear, Kotoni, oh, see, Baba, Galanu, Anyway, so what can we do, like, truly, to honor Papa J, if we are not simply being dramatic because we have lost the only Obroni we have who graces our national events and once in a while drops the mic? What really can we do? What?
All it takes is a little measure taken by you, a little measure by me, by our communities, our institutions, and our governments. Little measures that when we consciously adopt, we'll be able to put an end to the spate of environmental disasters that we are facing. And on that note, allow me to conclude with a quote from our birthday celebrant. Nature is the only true friend I have. I have always derived so much comfort and serenity from her. The loyalty, trust, and integrity of Mother Nature has never been in doubt. If only our greed and lust for power had not demeaned us, the life of Mother Nature and the environment would not be hanging so perilously in the balance. If I could live my life again and again, I would still spend it trying to protect her. My profession as a pilot would have been empty without the beauty and wonder of the landscape. Mother Nature and the environment made me a more responsible person. My relationship with nature and the environment is too spiritual for a sentence piece.
Oh. Okay, say this up to me. If only our greed and our lust for power had not demeaned us, the life of Mother Nature and the environment will not be hanging so perilously in the balance. Now listen, the man whose death we all say is so painful, whose body we were jostling over to do rights for, no? He says if he could live again and again, what would he do? He would spend and try and protect hair. And here, hair is not a bell tracing on this thing. You understand? It's not a bell tracing on. No. You understand? Hair is the environment. So to all those who took pictures with Papa J and you are sharing for us to know that you too, you were there some, no? And all those who are calling yourself cadets and comrades and national, you know, you are recipients of this message that, what's it?
But now is the time to bring your father back to life by walking in the best of his shoes. You only can best do this by nurturing the virtues and the values of Papa J. May probity, transparency, and accountability be your watchword and your mantra also. May your dear father continue to live on in you and in your lives of virtue, especially in your lives of service to God and Ghana and humanity.
Man of God, God bless you. So you guys, what do you think? Should we quickly rename UDS? Or what are the new names, Seth, you know, after JJ? Or we should re-green our environment in his honor? I want to hear what you think, honestly. And then restore the water bodies. Before then, I want you to see something. I am sure when JJ said his relationship with nature and the environment is too spiritual for a sentence piece, you know, he meant something like this. Something, just see. Oh, Yehovah Namula. Now, what you saw is a part of the University of Ghana. I mean, next to Kumasi, you will know Legon is easily the most beautiful part of Accra in Ghana. Now, that small space, if you are going to register between Kumasi, that small, people want to be 4,000 capacity next year with a mall and a conference or car park mano. Just say, I don't see what is becoming to that green space you just saw. See what is happening to that place now as I talk to you. Sorry, I'm getting angry. Meanwhile, there are large tracts of land that have less trees, and that can do for an annex. Just think about it. I'm still doing some more work on this, so let's move on. Because my people are not happy at all. Obiji, Odojiku, right? They say that they wanted to see something like this. Let me show you. They wanted to see something like this at the funeral walk border. Oh yeah, Charlie. No, this dance it can disturb the sleep of the dead. I mean, he may change his mind and come back to life. If we had, done this one and this one, and they would have spent money already. You see, too much money. People wanted, people say that they wanted to see more of what I just showed you than instead of this one. Then the others say that, but these songs, no, they don't come from Vagbaland. Why are you people not complaining? The church extra, no? Hello, orchestra.
Brothers and sisters, we are not good enough. Yeah. When we know better, just look them in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway.
No, but guys, people said, I mean, the numbers should have been reduced at the funeral because of COVID. But then, if you decided not to heed that call, then at least because this man, defined an era of our history and embodied many aspects of our national character, there should have been some sort of deliberate effort to get everyone to be a part of this. You get what I mean? So, like, would have had something like this. Of course, what I just showed you doesn't have everything, but you get what I mean, right? It would have solved a whole lot. Anyway, there was this beautiful picture of two of the siblings that has gone viral, and people are doing things with it, trying to understand. We'll see. There is a woman who was begging to file past Rawlings, but somebody snatched the microphone from her. You understand? Why? Hey, you go microphone now. JM met fellow Ghanaians at the funeral. What do you think they were talking about? People say, oh, Chachuchi Kata is doing so, he's worrying human beings too much. But why did he show up late in court the other time? Was it there at all? Okay. When we return from this break, we'll see what we can do. This is back page. Welcome from that break. Oh my God, I am just reminded of the Bobobo, the way they were doing the hurratu. But though, remind me, was it the preacher who threatened to send military police after the traditional drummers, or it was the MC? I got that place. I couldn't get that place clear. But Charlie, the scene was some way. But say, spiritual police. They went after what is the name of this lady? Oh, dress pressing. You guys. Hey. Tali, Papa B. No, seriously. I have come to really respect dressing because if anyone embarrassed me like this in the name of spirit, what would I have done to her? I think Grandma Diana Samoa, she has the best remedy. Or see a better than Kosovo.
Nyom to ni bia woni sisiri amafo bekwa akohia programma obe sori no oba begina oye de na no oye yen hwe nasom fa mike na homa ne chekere no yire ho ne nko wo ma ye ne saa mienu miensa nko agya saa nko asem ne die ko begai na me da na samwa pa mi gina state na waba so person trend ki be trend akosi Kosovo kiebe trend papa nyum to ni bia wo ye ma advice amede mamu mo ye ne sam ye nu miensa ebetene ni so saye dam obetene ni so
shina so mo ye ne sam miensa ebetene ni so. Children of the Lord, this is serious. No, but all things work together for good. Shout hallelujah. I mean, if these things didn't happen, Soros would have been deeper. I guess our sorrows may or no. Thank you very much for the advice. Next time, if you yourself you do something, you know the memo. Now, COVID-19 protocols, if we all fail to abide by the protocols, because people were taking pictures. Look, I saw people taking pictures by the catafalque, without wearing nose mask. Well, the catafalque is the bear. They say bear or something like that. That's basically the table they put the casket on. Yeah, people were daring. That's daring. They went to touch it. And they were posing for mucha picture. Hey! And they were not wearing those masks. And they didn't do social distancing too. Hey! I gotta me. Oh, Manu.
Something interesting though is happening where the casket was lying before it was taken away. People have massed up there. People have trooped in their numbers to come and take selfies, if you like, photographs, and take photographs, possibly pay their last respect.
We've gambled to see J.J. Rawlings off in grand style. Now we have to deal with what will become of us. By the way, the chiefs of Tefle, they said that they were not invited to the tea.
We heard on the TV, or we saw on the TV, that anybody who puts some cloth to the place will be turned out. Well, I am a chief. I cannot just walk there and then my sons or daughters will be asking me for invitation card, which I couldn't produce. I felt it would be some kind of embarrassment to me. So, otherwise, I organized 11 chiefs from the Tong district to be at the place. So, because of that, I quelled it.
No, but maybe that is why the Kinka and the Agbaja and the Bobobo didn't happen at the funeral, you understand? Hey, if you are waiting for that to invite you before you come. But seriously, listen to this man. Just pay attention.
We've seen you in two nose masks. Any reason why? COVID is real, so you need to protect yourself, and I'm protecting myself. This is a COVID funeral. A lot of people are coming here. You might have it, I might have it. So let's protect everybody. COVID is real.
Oh, okay. Maybe that is why Archbishop decided to double the obedience, because it is better than sacrifice. Serious, you should watch this picture.
Any attempt and any conspiracy of any group of people who will come together to devise your head, let it boomerang.
Look, guys, I mean, we need to apply wisdom, yeah? We need to apply wisdom. And school children, make sure you wear your mask before they close the schools again. By the way, this is for the men. I am hearing that right now the COVID, it is killing men before they die. Just say, even if you lose an election, you understand, election, petition, you cannot even go for a pee. Oh, wow, no bloody. The COVID, it wants to spoil things, you understand, Gakare? Let us close right now, because if we don't close, the election petition COVID would be spoiled in the house. Please wear your mask, social distance. No more, they will lock us down again. Say your face school fees.